Hello, I'm Rebecca McCusker, founder of McCusker's Marketing for garden centers and wineries and agritourism farms. Our agency works with independent garden centers, wineries, and agritourism destinations across the country. And today I want to talk about something that's maybe a little uncomfortable for a lot of owners in this industry, but is incredibly important. Your best customers are getting older. Now, I want to be very clear here. Baby boomers built the modern horticulture and wine industries. They have been some of the most enthusiastic gardeners, plant buyers, and wine lovers in history. They've supported independent garden centers for decades. So, this conversation is not about disrespecting that generation at all, but it is about recognizing a demographic reality that every business owner needs to understand. And here's that demographic reality. The baby boomer generation was born between 1946 and 1964. That means today, the youngest boomers are around 62 years old, and the oldest boomers are nearing 80. Many of them are still gardening. Many of them still love visiting wineries and garden centers. But over the next 10 to 15 years, something inevitable will happen. A huge portion of the customer base that built these industries will gradually age out of regular shopping. This isn't pessimism, it's simple demographics, and smart businesses prepare for demographic shifts before they become emergencies. So here's what many businesses are experiencing. This is something we see all the time when we start working with new clients. The owner tells us something like, business used to feel busier, or spring traffic isn't quite what it used to be. And especially they're telling us, we really know that we got to get with those younger customers, but we don't know how. When we dig into the numbers, we often discover that the core customers are still coming, but there aren't enough new customers replacing them. So, in other words, the next generation of gardeners and wine drinkers just haven't discovered the business yet. And if that continues for long enough, you'll start to see more of that decline in traffic if you haven't already. So, the next generation of customers, the future customer base for garden centers and wineries, is largely made up of millennials, younger Gen X homeowners, and increasingly Gen Z. These customers absolutely care about plants, food, experiences, outdoor spaces, sustainability, and supporting local. But they discover businesses differently than previous generations. They aren't driving around looking for signs. And increasingly in the future, we're even going to start to see them shift away from Google. But right now, they're discovering businesses through Instagram, TikTok, still Google, local influencers, which is a huge foot traffic driver, and recommendations from friends online. Which means if your business isn't visible in these spaces, they may never find you. So, what is the opportunity here? Here's the exciting part. Younger customers are incredibly enthusiastic once they discover a great garden center or winery or agritourism business. When millennials find a place that feels beautiful, welcoming, and authentic, they don't just visit once. They bring friends, they post photos, they celebrate birthdays there. They treat the place as an experience, not just a retail store. So, and businesses that lean into this shift are seeing incredible growth. So, what are these younger customers looking for? Let's talk about a few patterns we have seen recently in garden centers and wineries across the United States. First, beautiful environments. Younger customers love places that feel inspiring and uplifting. Greenhouses full of plants, outdoor seating areas, coffee, wine tastings, and garden spaces that feel like somewhere you want to spend time. Second, education and inspiration. Younger gardeners, especially, are still learning. They want help with beginner gardening, house plants, pollinator gardens is becoming ever more popular, especially with natives. Food growing and garden centers are uniquely positioned to provide this guidance. And third, they're looking for social discovery. If someone posts a video saying, I just discovered the cutest garden center in town, that one piece of content can introduce thousands of people to the business, which is why social media visibility matters so much today. And finally, they're looking for community experiences. They want the workshops, the seasonal events, the garden classes, the wine tastings. Experiences create memories, and memories bring people back. And you know what? These don't have to be big events that are time consuming and expensive potentially for your business to set up. They could be tiny little moments, like maybe you do a sunset golden hour photography walk through the greenhouses. And that's just a half-hour walk. That's it. Maybe it's something as simple as kids' story time on Sunday morning or Saturday morning, surrounded by plants. It can be tiny, just giving people a reason to show up. And here's the mindset shift. One of the biggest mindset shifts business owners need to make is this. Marketing is no longer just about advertising. It's about visibility and discoverability. The goal is not just to remind existing customers that you're still here. It's to introduce the business to the next generation of customers who have never heard of you. Because once younger customers discover a great garden center or winery or small business that they love, they often become extremely loyal. And they share it with their friends, and they share it with their communities on social media and by word of mouth, but they have to discover it first. So here's the good news. Independent businesses actually have a huge advantage here, because what younger customers want most right now is what you already have. They want authenticity, local experiences, beautiful places, knowledgeable people. And this is exactly the strengths that independent garden centers and wineries already have. So the challenge is not the product. You already have that totally covered. The challenge is visibility. If you run a garden center, winery, or agritourism destination and you are thinking about how to attract younger customers, we created something to help. It's called the Independent Growers Marketing Playbook. And inside, we break down how younger customers discover horticulture businesses today, where to spend your marketing budget depending on your size, and the marketing activities that actually drive foot traffic. You can download it using the link below. To subscribe to the channel, we share the exact marketing systems we are using to help local independent growers across the country attract new customers, increase foot traffic, and grow revenue. Thanks for watching. I'm Rebecca, and I will see you in the next video.